What's up, guys? Welcome to Life Knowledge. My name is Justin Alphabet. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below. Stay to the end of the video so you can get all the information you need. Today we're going to be talking about how to be more spiritual. So you want to be more spiritual, and that's great. There are plenty and a lot and many and various ways on how to become more spiritual. So we're going to narrow it down into 3 different categories. We're going to narrow it down into connection, identity, and direction in spirituality. So starting off with connection, the way that you can be more connected spiritually is focusing on how you can connect with the universe, with God, with spirit, energy, with balance in your life, and creating that avenue between you and the source energy of the earth or God or whatever you believe it to be. There are many different names for God, and God is, the universe, energy, Allah, so many different names, and ultimately we're all talking about the same person. So whoever you believe to be your God, the God of the universe, is who you should be trying to connect with. And that can be done in a couple different ways. Typically it's done through speaking, through just praying and speaking out loud to the source or the energy, and then that's called prayer. You can also write down and journal. That's another useful way to get your thoughts out and clear your mind so that you can connect yourself with the source energy. Many different ways in connecting to other people as well, and connecting with other people also helps you connect with God, gets you or the universe and source energy, and become more spiritual. But focus on the prayer first. That's the number one and fastest way that you can connect with source energy or the universe, is speaking and praying. So prayer is, the easiest way to connect. We have identity, which is finding out exactly who you are, right? And typically that comes through balance. Everything we do in life is ultimately us trying to get back to homeostasis. For example, you can either be let's talk about food for a second. You can either be too full or too empty, right? But ultimately, when you're right in the middle, when you're balanced, you're not hungry and you're not, you're not overly full, then you're in a middle stasis. You're in a content and happy stasis. We're constantly trying to balance between pleasure and pain, right? Too much pain is bad and too much pleasure is bad. And so ultimately we're trying to find that middle balance, which will allow us to be our best selves, which is what our true identity is. So becoming more balanced is a great way to, explore that, to try to become more in tune with your identity and spirituality. And so an easy way to do that is to ask yourself the question, what can I work on in my life? To your mind, ask your brain, what's something I need to work on? And your brain will tell you, you need to work on X, Y, or Z. You're either doing too much of X, Y, or Z, or you're doing not enough X, Y, or Z. So if it's sleeping, if it's a drug, if it's alcohol, if it's smoking, sex, overindulging, or underindulging, you're working too hard, you're not sleeping enough, you're not taking enough time for yourself, you're spending too much energy on other people, etc. There are so many different things it can be. But ultimately, all those things are going to get in the way of the balance of finding yourself. And a quick tip to how you can quickly get in alignment with your identity and yourself is imagine that there's a bubble of energy around you about 3 feet out from your body. And then what I want you to do is take that bubble and shrink it down into your chest. So all your energy is just sitting right here. And if you're anxious, this will feel really uncomfortable. But if you're overspent, it will feel really nice because all your energy is now inside of your body. You're not projecting it out to other people. So it kind of depends on if you're an empath or a narcissist, or if you're selfish or selfless. If you're typically more selfish, you're really good at this kind of thing, where you're good at keeping your energy inside of yourself. And that's a good thing. So you should start trying to project your energy out a little bit more if you're a selfish person. But if you're a selfless person, you should be trying to bring your energy in more and keep it held inside your body more, because you need more energy. So if you're overextending yourself and being selfless, then keep your energy more closer to your chest. And if you're selfish, give some of that energy away. It's never a bad thing to give energy away to help other people, because that can also help you bring yourself into a balance. It's not good to have too much energy, and it's not good to have not enough energy. So balancing out between the two is how you can do that and how you can clarify your identity. So ask yourself that question, like, what could I work on? What's something some issues that I have? Clearing anxiety would be a great one for those people who have too much energy, and giving it to other people. Give more energy to people so that you're more tired, which will help you then become more in alignment with yourself. And also vice versa, if you need to take more time for yourself, be more selfish and keep more energy inside. It's all about a balance. Okay, and then the last one, so we had connection and identity, and now direction. Obviously God should be the direction, or the universe or whatever. Focusing on the universe, focusing on God, focusing on your fellow man and yourself are different ways that you can bring yourself or help yourself find a better direction in life. Because in life, as humans, there's not really much we need. We need food, shelter, water, happiness, love, basically. There are 4 main things that people always want in life, and it's health, wealth, love, and happiness. And if you have those 4 things beyond, food and shelter and basic needs, water, you're pretty much set. You're pretty much good. So we're very simplistic creatures, and with direction, when you focus on God or the universe and learning more about that, typically the things that you need in life follow God, because God or the universe or the supreme creator is typically thought of as like a father or a law, or the law of attraction, or the laws of the universe, or the universal laws, or a law, or just the supreme creator, right? And to be honest, there are some people who have claimed to see God. There's some people who haven't claimed to see God. And ultimately what it comes down to is it doesn't matter what he looks like or whatever, but it just matters that you seek after this energy of godliness. Because ultimately, when we align ourselves in the direction of being godly or godliness, then we too become that energy. We join ourselves to that energy, and we become essentially that higher energy of happiness and health and wealth and love and everything like that. Those things just come more naturally, because that's the energy that we're seeking after, and it always has that energy. So there are plenty of things that you can do. You can read scripture, you can read how to get in touch with the law of attraction, you can read about faith, you can read about growing faith and belief, and they're essentially the same thing, the same principles. They're just talked about in different ways. So there are lots of YouTube videos explaining about these. I have some myself. Clearing your emotions and thinking about the 7 dimensions of wellness is what I do personally. I think about all 7 of the 7 dimensions of wellness, and how I can do something every day of the week for those things to align myself. So like Sunday's spirituality, Monday's physicality, and I keep implementing these practices every single day. So obviously, like, I work out every day, I take care of myself, and there are some things that need to be focused on more than others, and I'll make another video about that in the future with the 7 dimensions of wellness and which ones you should focus on more. But the main thing that you need to do is just make sure that you have live a moderately well-rounded life, where you have spirituality, you work on your environment, you work on your physicality, you work on your mentality, you work on your spirituality, you work on your finances. If you work on one thing too much, then you won't have as much success. And if you focus on one thing way too much, you might not be as well-rounded, or be lacking something somewhere in your life and not be able to achieve that balance. So figuring out a direction is key. But if you put the energy of the universe at the center of all of that, then balance will come much, much easier. So focus and center yourself in your direction on God or Jesus or Allah or the universe, and everything else will fall into place. All the good things will come to you since you've raised your energy, or you're raising your energy to meet the level of godliness or the highest energy. Because when you're in a vibration of the highest energy, everything else comes. It's crazy. There are many different gurus who talk about this, many different spiritual leaders of all faiths who talk about this, and every single person who is a spiritual leader or religious leader talks about these things, about aligning ourselves with the supreme or the divine. But each of them just has a different route, and all the routes are good. All the different ways are good, and you should mesh them all together into a conglomeration that suits you, so that you can get to that divine supreme energy of creation. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Go ahead and comment them below. Thank you guys for watching today, and let's level up.